everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith E. Phillips and we have a horrific task ahead of us this weekend. I must draft a brand new chapter. Not a scene, not a little piece extra added to an existing scene. A brand new chapter from start to finish. I have to write it this weekend. And by have to, I mean like that's my own self-imposed deadline, but that also means I literally have to or I'm going to feel like a failure. We'll get to that in a second, but to catch you up slightly, two important things. Number one, last weekend I was going through existing chapters and adding little pieces, tweaking some things. I did finish all 4 of the chapters that needed tweaking. I sent them to a friend to get a little bit of feedback, make sure it worked right. She had some good suggestions, so I worked on it. They're all cleaned up, done, checked off the list. The second thing is my EFA class is almost completed. This is the final week for it. I've already done the homework for this week. For the most part, there's one last little piece I have to do, but it involves other people in the class, so I have to wait for them to do things anyway. But most of my stuff is done and handed in. Last week, remember last week where I was like, oh, I have the EFA homework to do. I'll do it on Monday. I was going to push it, whatever. I'd watched the video lessons over the weekend and it was about picking out foreshadowing and clues in mystery novels and how to edit the foreshadowing and stuff so that it made sense, whatever. Anyway, I watched the videos and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, right, fine. And then I opened the homework and read the directions for the homework, and you can't fail the class. That, it's not like you're graded, but for all intents and purposes, I completely failed this assignment. I don't read mysteries. I cannot tell you the last time I read an actual mystery book, or even a book with oh, there's a mystery subplot or something. That's just not something I tend to gravitate toward. And so I don't remember the last time I read one. I should never read mysteries though. That is not for me. Because as I was going through, it was an 18-page short story, essentially. Mystery short story. I was going through this thing I have no clue. I have no clue what is supposed to be foreshadowing. I have no clue what is supposed to be a clue, or is this a red herring? Even once I'd read to the end and knew who's the murderer, I knew, still have no clue. I had no idea what to pick out at all. So, oh my gosh, I did some work on it and I sent it to the instructor hi, so this is literally embarrassing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, have fun grading my assignment, I guess. She just posted this morning her version of the edited passage, and where she was picking out all of the things, and I was you could have given me 10 years to do this and I never would have picked out even half of these things. And it very much reminded me of this moment. I remember this moment so clearly. My senior year of high school, I had to take a math class. The first half of the year was trigonometry. The second half of the year was math analysis. I don't remember what that even means, but anyway. I remember one day in trig, the teacher was at the board doing something, and I was just it's not that I don't understand this last piece she did. I didn't understand a single thing on the board, to the point where it was I don't even want to raise my hand and ask a question because I don't even know what question I would ask. You know when you're so lost that it's just incomprehensible. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is as far in math as I'm ever going to go in my life. I'm never going to advance to anything beyond whatever the heck she's doing on the board right now. Doing that assignment felt like that day in math class where I was just I'm never advancing beyond this point in line editing. This is the max capacity for me. I'm not going to get to do this part. So if I ever end up opening my own freelance editing business, you can be assured that on the homepage for my business, there will be in big bold letters, do not send me mysteries because I will not be able to help you. So anyway, after that humbling experience, week 6's homework was better. Okay, I did a much better job on week 6. Thank you so much. But those are the updates for the week. And here's my plan for today when it comes to this new chapter. Number 1, we are finishing the first draft of the chapter today. I can do it If I focus, okay, we're going to focus up. We're going to lock in. We're going to finish the first draft of the chapter today. And then tomorrow I'll go back to it, do some initial revisions, etc. The thing is, I could absolutely stretch this out and procrastinate and be looking at this too much and all of the things. But my reward for finishing the first draft of this new chapter is I get to go play Stardew Valley. I haven't played yet today, okay? It's a very exciting time. I am on the last couple days of fall year 6. It's almost winter. I have so many plans for my farm for the winter season. We're going to redesign some parts of the farm. I just opened up Ginger Island. I need to get to that farm and start doing stuff. Like, we've got a lot to do, and I really want to do it. So my goal is to finish this first draft, and that is all I'm doing today. If it takes me 5 hours to draft this chapter, then it takes me 5 hours. If I finish it in an hour and a half, then I'm done. I'm done. Hour and a half and I'm done for the day. So we're aiming more for that hour and a half mark rather than 5 hours. That would be a little painful. There are 2 new chapters I need to write. We're just doing the one this weekend, and then next week I'll work on that second one. I'm going to start with my little like scene by scene outline template. I use this all the time when I'm outlining and getting ready to draft, and I'm going to use that for this piece just because it has really good questions on it to consider when you're working on a scene. It's a really brief little template, but it is on my website if you want to download a copy just so you can see what I'm working with. So I'm going to start with that little piece. I'm going to fill that in, and then I'm going to do the scene. The filling in the little template thing should not take too long. And then after that, we'll get started on drafting and writing some really cringe words. How did I draft like a whole book? I feel so intimidated just trying to like draft a single chapter. But anyway, let's get started. It is 9:15. We're getting started bright and early. Okay, I did a good job getting myself ready. I didn't want to get ready, honestly. I was just like, I just want to sit here and be like a slob. But I put myself together, okay? And yeah, we're gonna draft some words. So let me get this little template pulled up. I have to find it. It's in my Scrivener document, not in a Word document. It's somewhere in here. Where is it? Here it is. Wow, I haven't looked at that in a hot minute and a half. And I think we're gonna put it right here. Boop. All right, I put Jade in her bedtimes, so she's all taken care of. And Han's outside for the moment, taking care of himself. I've got my beach waves pulled up for my background noise. I'm ready to go. Okay, I know I said I was gonna like lock in, and I did, okay, but I just have to reiterate, because we haven't talked about this in such a long time. I have to reiterate how freaking helpful this stupid little template is. It's so simple. It's nothing like revolutionary, but it really helps you pinpoint what is the conflict here. What is the initial plan going into the scene? You know, who's the opponent in the scene? How are you going to end it? What's the twist or the reveal that's going to push us forward into the next scene? You know, like it just lays everything out so well. I wasn't entirely sure, like, what was going to be the setup for this scene exactly. I knew what I needed to have happen in the end, but I didn't know like how to get there. This, like, it just like came. It just like happened, and I was like, oh, duh. And I think this is really good. I think the situation I have outlined here now is going to be really good for like heightening the tension and making it clear like why the main problem in the novel at this point is like a legitimate bad problem. It's not just like, oh, whatever. Like this is seriously bad. And the solution that's supposed to be what's happening is like really, like they've got to get it right, you know? So anyway, I think this raises the stakes in a nice way. That having been said, it's time to draft this scene. So let me get into it. It's just now 10 o'clock. It's 9:59. So I just need a first draft. I just need a first draft. It can be messy. It can be stupid sounding. I just need a first draft. I'm tired. It's 1 o'clock. I'm still working. I did take a little lunch break, so there was that in there, but I'm at 1,251 words, which that's embarrassing, honestly. It's been like 2 hours of solid work over here, and I'm so slow. Anyway, I'm almost done. I think I need maybe another like 500-ish words to finish this out. We're at the end, sort of like ending confrontation section here, so it'll be a lot of dialogue, and hopefully I won't have to describe anything at all. And yeah, they've been to 2 different locations in this chapter. Did I describe a single one of them? Absolutely not. We'll do that later. Another 500 words or so, maybe, and I'll be able to finish this out. Yay. I only did some light research on 2 occasions. Okay, I needed to know what kind of ice cream flavors would have been served at Gunter's. They're like gross flavors. I don't know what these people were thinking. It's not good flavors of ice cream like we have today. It's like artichoke. Or like cheese flavored ice cream. I'm sorry, I don't like cheese, just period, end of story. But in ice cream form, even if you like cheese, are you eating cheese flavored ice cream? No. So anyway, that was kind of fun. And then I had to make sure that these locations were not like on opposite sides of London. So I did a little map researching to make sure, you know, everything was relatively close together, and thank goodness they were. They like everything just happened to be within like a 10-minute walk of each other. I was like, thank goodness. Okay, so we got that straightened out. Was that the most important thing to do at this stage? No, but I just, you know, like you just got to do it in the moment. I'm sorry. Let me finish this up, partly so that I can be satisfied at being done, but also partly so I can go play Stardew Valley. The true motivator in all of this. Okay, I am done. I'm at 1,742 words. It took me way too long to write all of that. It's fine. I like how this is going to segue into the next chapter. I think it works really well, and it definitely, I don't know if it raises the stakes so much as it makes the stakes, like it heightens the emotion related to it, which I think is great. So I'm pleased with how it turned out in terms of like the overall plot points happening. The writing is pretty rough. We'll work on fixing that up tomorrow, okay? It's about 1:45. Don't laugh at me, okay? Yes, it took me freaking forever to write 1,700 words. It's 1:45. I'm gonna quit for today. I'm gonna go get Jade's medicine and probably get her out of her bed because this dog is like not sleeping anymore. I'm just like, can you chill out? She's whining in there. I'm like, what do you do? Anyway, probably get her out of her pen and just let her be in her chair in the living room, which she loves so much. And I'm gonna go play Stardew Valley, as previously stated like 17 times. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll fix this up a little bit, make it look like I'm halfway competent, and then probably send it to someone for review. So I will see you tomorrow. Oh, hi, it's me again, and I'm just now realizing I'm wearing another black shirt. This is a different black shirt, okay? I have several because it just kind of goes with everything, you know what I mean? Not that it goes, I'm wearing navy blue pants. It doesn't matter. Hi, it's Sunday. We're back again to revise this dumpster fire of a first draft I did yesterday. My goal for today is kind of the same as yesterday. I want to revise this chapter I just wrote to the point where I feel not completely embarrassed to send it to someone to review. And once I'm done with those revisions and I've sent it to the person that it is going to be sent to, then I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. In terms of writing, I'll probably edit this vlog later this afternoon, but that's it. And then go play Stardew Valley. I'm doing really good, by the way. I played yesterday afternoon after I finished. Like I said, that was my reward. Okay. And I'm doing great. I've rearranged the farm. I got another fish pond. I got the Junimo huts now, so I don't have to harvest everything. Like, I am actually thriving. So anyway, it is almost 10 o'clock. I actually need to put Jade in her bedtimes. Need to do that first. But yeah, I mean, like, let's get started. I'm not about wasting time today because Stardew Valley calls. It calls to me. Let's go. You know what it's time for now, research. So all I did is I just reread the whole thing. I didn't change anything, just reread it. It needs some work. There's two things though that I need to research to make sure I have correct, because I don't think I have it correct. There's two locations in this little chapter. Gunter's, which was a tea shop, sweets shop kind of place, and Hatchard's, which is a bookstore. It still exists in London. I think it's the oldest bookstore in London. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like in the past, like, okay, when we think about I'm gonna go out for ice cream or go to an ice cream parlor, you go in the shop, you order your stuff, and you sit there in the shop to eat it, right? I believe at some point in the past I read at Gunter's in the Regency era, it wasn't set up that way where there's like tables and chairs for people to sit at. You would like send a servant in to order, and then they would bring it out and you would eat it in your carriage. I think that's what I've read. I want to find whatever that source was and double check. And then I also believe I've read too with like bookshops at the time. They're not set up again like they would be today where there's like rows of shelves and you can just go and browse. I believe what happened is you would go in and go directly to a counter where you would tell the person at the counter what you were looking for, and then they would go and get you like a selection of books and you could pick things from there. So let me do some research to make sure I have the details right. Right about Gunter's, the ice cream sweets shop. Typically, it didn't say there weren't tables in the establishment, but it said like the fashionable thing to do was wait in your carriage or wait like in the park that was like right across the street and have the waiters and stuff like bring the stuff to you, right? So I'll have to retool that little portion of this scene. I couldn't find what I was thinking of for the bookshop. There's bookstores where you can actually like purchase books, but books of course at the time were like super expensive, and so only the super rich and fabulous could do that. Most people used circulating libraries, which were basically kind of like libraries today where you could borrow books. There was like an annual subscriber fee you could pay to be able to borrow. So I don't know, I found one picture where it did look like there was like a counter where, you know, helpers or, you know, employees were talking to customers, but I couldn't find anything specifically about how it worked in terms of browsing. So I think I'm gonna leave that part the way I have it and keep researching that, and if I find something different later I can just switch how the library or bookshop is set up. So let's go ahead and start doing some revisions. It is 10:30 and I definitely have some good work to do in this thing because it's rough. We have a visitor. The saddest little dog, because it's thundering. Aww. It started thundering, so she got all upset about that, and for whatever, usually I can put her in the chair in the living room and she's like totally happy to be there. thunder doesn't matter. I put her out there today and she was still crying, so I was like, So anyway, she very much wanted to come back here, which is nice until she falls asleep. So I need to finish my work. It's like 1 o'clock now. I took a little break for lunch, but yeah, with the sleep startle, I'm gonna have to finish this revision work. I'm almost done, but also like keep talking to her at the same time to make sure she doesn't fall asleep. Anyway, so let me wrap this up for today. Now I'll stay awake, okay? Are you gonna stay awake? Jade, do you want a little snack? You want a little snackies? Good girl. Good girl. All right, well, it is definitely pouring out there. Good thing I went to the grocery store last night after the rainstorm passed yesterday. I feel like we're getting thunderstorms and bursts of rain like every day. Every afternoon there's more, which isn't bad. At least it's raining and not drought conditions, I guess. At 2,225 words, I believe I am finished with this revision. I think I'm going to go back to the beginning maybe and just read it through one more time, and then I should be ready to send it. I do like this a lot. I really like how this is going to play into the next scene and how it's going to cause more problems and all kinds of stuff. So I think it works really well. You know what we haven't done? You know what we haven't done recently? We haven't checked the overall word count. Shall we indulge? All right, let me look. Hold on. I still have one other new chapter to write that I'm going to work on this coming week. So there's still, I would say another 2,000-ish words to add to this. But for the moment, we are at 92,080 words, which is not the worst word count we've seen yet. So it's probably going to be closing in at 95 by the time I add that second scene. I'm sure there's more like line editing stuff I can do and cutting out little pieces here and there. That's one of the things my agent said we were going to work on in like August when we get into little nitty-gritty kind of stuff. Try to keep the word count in check. Oh my gosh. Sorry if you can hear all that. But not too egregious in terms of added words at this point. But like I said earlier today, my goal for the day was to finish this scene and send it off, and I'm about to do that. So that means the vlog is over. I feel like this one was pretty short. Sorry / I don't know what else to say for the moment. So like I said, for this coming week, I have one more chapter to write, revisions to do on that chapter, send it off for a little look-see, and then I feel like I'll probably go back to the beginning of the book and just reread the whole thing again and do some little tweaking. But other than that, like, that might be kind of it for this revision. That's crazy. We're closing in on being done. Again, I'll be back next weekend with something. But for now, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if my door's making noises, great. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and hopefully next time I won't end the video with thunder in the background. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!